Congress has done what it needed to do to avoid the fiscal cliff, but no one in Washington or in the country seems to be happy about the final outcome.
Late last night, the House joined the Senate in passing a bill that raises taxes for people earning more than $400,000 a year and families earning more than $450,000. The bill also extends long-term jobless benefits for a year and puts any significant spending cuts on hold until later in 2013. Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony. Well, if this was high school, you'd say they turned in the assignment a little bit late. It was kind of a rush job, but at least they got it done. The House passed this bill with room to spare late last night. The votes were about 2-1 Democratic in favor of the bill, but that still qualifies as a big bipartisan victory around here.
The yeas are 257. The nays are 167.
With that vote, the long, contentious effort to prevent a middle-class tax hike came to an end Tuesday, though few on either side felt like celebrating.
Reminds me of the jokes we used to have on Lenox Avenue where someone stopped hitting you in the head with a hammer and you're supposed to say thank you so much for the relief.
The bill before us is not the grand bargain that I think most of my colleagues had hoped that we would have been able to achieve.
Still, the bill is a milestone, finally settling a decade-long debate over the Bush-era tax cuts.
Permanent tax relief for the middle class, for more than 98% of American taxpayers, more than 97% of America's small businesses.
The bill also permanently prevents the alternative minimum tax from hitting the middle class.
We're witnessing something that there's been a great hunger among the American people for, and that is to see finally Democrats and Republicans working together for the good of the United States.
Shortly after the bill passed, the president made a point of recognizing Republican leaders.
In particular, I want to thank the work that was done by my extraordinary Vice President Joe Biden, as well as Leader Harry Reid, Speaker Boehner, Nancy Pelosi, and Mitch McConnell.
But many House Republicans were angry that this deal, worked out by the White House and the Senate, did not include serious spending cuts.
I'm unwilling to gag down a bill that they've sent over here that's unacceptable.
But in the end, they did not have the votes to change it, and everyone acknowledged that this deal sets the stage for a big showdown over spending, with a vote to raise the debt ceiling coming sometime in the next 2 months.
The problem is we set up 3 more fiscal cliffs.
One thing this bill really doesn't address is the sequester, those across-the-board indiscriminate spending cuts to both defense and non-defense agencies. The bill just pushes off those cuts for 2 months. So you're going to see Congress and the White House fighting right away about how to replace the sequester with more sensible cuts once and for all.
Nancy Cordes, thanks, Nancy.